You are listening to Pharmacy, IT, and Me, your Informatics Pharmacist podcast. Hey everyone, this is Tony Dow, and welcome to another episode of Pharmacy, IT, and Me. As with every episode, we start off this one saying that the intended audience for this episode is actually, the inpatient informatics pharmacists who are taking rotation students. So today we'll be talking about, what we can provide students on IPPE rotations as an introduction to pharmacy informatics. And since I work in a health system setting, this episode will be focused on what can be given to IPPE students in those kind of health system settings. So IPPEs, or Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experiences, are often challenging to provide long-term experiences for the student. Many of the schools, at least the ones in Southern California, have IPPEs set up where the students come in like once or twice a week for X amount of weeks, usually about 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the school. And the idea is to get these students oriented early on in their pharmacy career on what it's like in the health system. There are a few problems with this when it comes to pharmacy informatics. So first of all, the student is fairly green when it comes to their pharmacy career, and IPPEs are early on in their career, so by this time, they may not have seen what a health system is like yet, let alone even know what the pharmacy informatics side is. So the second problem is IPPEs, as a general issue, have a continuity issue. Students don't come in every day of the week because they're actually coming once or twice a week. And that's because in between they have a lot of schooling, homework, extracurriculars, and all of the other stuff that will interfere with, their ability to remember what they experienced in their IPPEs. So when they come back the next week, sometimes they'll have to relearn. And if you are a preceptor of IPPEs, you probably already know this. So pharmacy informatics ends up being difficult because it relies on two things. So one is pharmacy operational workflow, and two is seeing the continuity of an informatics-based project going into the production or go-live space. So IPPEs just are not designed to provide students with a good view of pharmacy informatics. So what do? I've actually only worked in 2 institutions where I've provided some pharmacy informatics introduction for IPPEs, but what I've done seemed to work, and hopefully what I do can also be helpful for you, and I like to share it. So I usually ask for a 2-hour block with the IPPE student within maybe the first few weeks of their rotation, and within these 2 hours, it's pretty much a crash course of what's available in pharmacy informatics. So the first thing I do is I ask the student what kind of experience they've had. There are several reasons for this. So one, if the student has not ever worked in a health system, this allows me to back up and go over some basic health system operations with the student before, moving forward to discussing the medication use process. 2, if the student has worked in a health system already, I can pinpoint some technologies that pharmacy informatics is focused on and relate it to, what they already know, while also introducing new concepts that they may have not known yet. 3, if the student already knows what pharmacy informatics is, this allows me to focus more on their detailed questions rather than rehash everything I think they don't know, but they already know. So within the 2-hour block, I make sure that they get a brief overview of the medication use process through explaining ordering, transcribing, dispensing, administration, and monitoring. After explaining that, I give them brief definitions and med safety implications for computerized provider order entry, clinical decision support, and barcode and medication administration. I also provide some vendor-neutral discussion on automated dispensing cabinets before discussing the vendor that we use. And aside from all of that, I also go over the workflow that I do day in and day out, which is broken down into triaging and working on break fixes, as well as ongoing projects. And if time permits, I also try to introduce some basics in the outpatient setting to them, like consumer health informatics, community pharmacy workflow systems, robotics, and other things like that. So this 2-hour block includes some time at the end for questions, and what I ask them that they do throughout the rest of their IPPEs is to keep in mind the workflows that they're asked to do and how they think technology can improve it. This usually gets them thinking critically and getting a better understanding of what pharmacy informatics is. So even though they don't have an active project that's ongoing, it's still on the back of their mind. Alright, if you like our show, please share with your friends, or you can help us out by writing a review on Apple Podcasts or any of your other favorite podcasting services. You can also check us out on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and you can also reach out to me at tony@pharmacyitme.com. If you want to network, you can check out the Pharmacist Slack group at pharmacistconnect.com, which is PHARMACISTSCONNECT.com. There's different topic channels, including informatics, and I've met some great colleagues on there, and I look forward to connecting with you as well. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Pharmacy IT and Me. And remember, technology is a tool, patient care is the goal.